There are two things I really like about games that the old-fashioned games I grew up with didn't have, and that is low downtime. Everyone has got to be playing the whole time. And interaction. I don't like games that tend to be quite solitary. In other words, where I'm doing, like golf. Golf is always my analogy of not a game. It's like it's a pastime that a lot of people do alongside each other, as opposed to all playing with each other. And so in the games I like interactive social games where I'm playing the person, not the game, playing with the person, and I like low downtime. I like to be playing the whole time. And I've become recently very interested in how do you get large groups to play games, because I find that I bump up against six, and Chameleon's quite good for that. It does stretch, it handles six effortlessly. Not very many games manage six people well, without it being without them being games that play against a system rather than playing between each other. And I'm trying to see how can I break beyond that, get games that work for more than 10 people. There's one co-op game that I'm really enjoying, and I usually hate co-ops, and that's a game called Fuse, where it works as a co-op game because people are playing. You don't suffer from one alpha player. Again, games are very social for me. It's a way of chatting with people. It's a way of structuring a conversation. Like last night, I was seeing friends. We pulled out the Chameleon, and 2 hours later, we talked about all sorts of subjects, but around that, and teased each other, and around the structure of the game. And so the games I like tend to be social. Fuse is a good co-op game that works where where we're not competitive, we're all trying to win together, but it doesn't suffer from one experienced or alpha player saying everyone do this or this or this. I go back a lot to games, to those short games that stand the test of time. No Thanks or No Mercy, depends which version you get. For Sale has just been reprinted, great one. High Society. Games, again, these are games that have some thought, have different strategies, highly interactive, get people talking and joshing. A lot of trash talk. I like a lot of trash talk. It's really easy, but it's all about choosing the right game. The first thing you've got to do is break down that shy skepticism. In other words, particularly in a group, you've got one person who usually is reluctant because of their own sense of pride, or they don't want to look foolish. You've got to crush that up front, because that's a bigger stamp on a game. You've got to somehow get everyone to, suspend their disbelief, like in a play. You've got to go, okay, right, this is something we're all doing, and make sure that everyone understands. So that's the biggest hurdle. Once you get people over that, I don't know anyone that doesn't like games. I mean, I've had lots of people who go, oh, I don't like games. Then if you choose the right game and then they get over there, I'm not going to make a fool of myself, hang-ups, it's hard to go wrong. So you've got to have a good leader in all these games in some way, shape or form, or enthusiastic people at the table. But the choice of game is absolutely critical. And you want something that's quick to learn, something that they haven't played before, so that they so it opens their eyes, which is not very hard for non-games players, because the only games they've ever played, Scrabble, Monopoly, Cluedo, that's pretty much it. And so usually they're like, wow, I didn't realize games could be this fun. The first game, whenever you introduce a game, it's always best to tell people the first time you play it, you won't understand, don't worry, we'll just play it, won't count, then we'll play it for real. And that's really critical, so that they don't judge it on the first time. And so the second time people play it, they get it. And if people don't get it the second time, then it's probably for non-gamers, it's probably too complex. So the game has to be short, it has to be highly interactive, so it's different with a different group. Because there's a problem with a lot of games is you play it once, twice, that was fun, but the experience of playing it the third time is going to be exactly the same. So you go, okay, that was great. It's like going to a movie. That was great, I enjoyed that. Don't need to see that again. I'm going to go see another movie. Whereas a good game that takes account of the personalities of the people is different with the crowd because it's you're playing with the people. And Chameleon captures that. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to say I set out to do that to a degree. In a lot of games, you stumble across stuff. And Chameleon I probably worked on for 2 years. I make games that I like to play. So I don't make games that I think will be successful or other people want to play. I make games because I kind of go, ooh, I like doing that. So I like bluffing, I like talking, I like all those. I like the interaction, and so what makes Chameleon work is it's simple enough that people get it, and that if they have never played the game before, you can explain it quickly. I'm incredibly flattered it wins a award. I mean, I make games because I love games, and so it's like writing. I don't know. I guess it's like an author or someone who writes a book. The immense pleasure you get from knowing someone else is having fun from something you've created, I guess like an artist. So you think, oh, someone's seen my sculpture and gone, it's made them think. So it's just fantastic that people like it and play it. And that's the reward, that's the buzz.